Isn't that recording today? Twist. It's Twitch, motherfucker. Not twist. All right, so today, kind of working on a couple things. One thing I kind of worked on last night is this right here. So I was messing around. I like making action figures. It's one of my side things. And where did that go? Man, then you have your junk file. Junk file. How can I explain this without a visual aid? All right, so one of the things I found were these things. I guess they're like not stress toys. I don't know. It's for retarded people, but sorry, I'm being an asshole. These things. And these joints are very, because they're like fidget toys. And I think they're really cool. There you go. Yeah, fidget toys. There you go, Pisces. So I really like these. They're like fun because like this little click is really interesting to me. So I wanted to use it for stuff. So this is the long run, right? So these are just marker caps that I kind of took pieces off and then I replaced them, kind of made them into arms, and then now I have a joint. So my plan is, the other one? Oh yeah, I put it over here. So I've been like cutting some of these down. I'm still trying to work out like if I put it this way. There's a lot of learning curve. All the shit that I read and I learn about toy making, I always forget when I'm actually toy making. So I'm going to be making some of these stuff because I want to actually make a figure that's going to be, see, so this would go here. This would be like a shoulder. Or it could be a leg, believe it or not. What I'm trying to figure out the next step is to make this turn. So then this can do, if you can see how this turns. So once that happens, I can have multiple joints. So from one of these, I can make a whole figure. And so what I'm trying to do, see, they snap right out so that it can go like this. And then this will swing. So I make this into a peg more. And then this will be more. So it could go like this also. So this could move like a peg. So it can be a leg. It can be an arm. And a bunch of stuff. So that's my plan anyway. I'm planning to make action figures for a series called Hood. And it's going to be I'm going to build it so I have an actual model to work from when I'm drawing. But that will be later on. Is that something you guys would be... Thank you, sir. That's something that people will be interested in to see on this channel? Toy making? I doubt it, right? I'm going to be doing it anyway, so I might do it on here just so it can be on the YouTube and on the Twitch stream and everything else. I'm going to lower this music so that I don't get any more Warner Brother hits. But yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about. Something different. Yeah, man, I wanted to do something like that. a big fan of have you guys ever seen Ashley Wood, Zombies versus Robots and stuff like that? I'm a big fan of that guy. I think he's awesome. And so I like the idea of making like the toys and then making stuff around it. So today I'm just picking up sketch cards. If anybody's looking to get sketch cards done, I do have a deal two color ones for 30. I still have the black and white sketch cards going for 10. If you guys are looking to get a good deal, let me know. Oh my god, I got so much on my catalog. This will probably be the last week for the 2 for 30 cards. It can be live. The most of my stuff will be live. The only thing that happens is that sometimes I get busy, but right now I am in intercession, so I'm not teaching. So the next week or so, I'm going to be broadcasting more. I should be broadcasting more this week, but we were taking advantage of the vacation time. But yeah, it'll be live. If you want it live, man, you just let me know and I'll make sure it's on a live. Just when, that's the whole thing. 9 p.m. If you look at my schedule, I programmed the 9 p.m.s all across. But even last night, I had to cancel because I was out in New Mexico and it took me a while to get back. But if you want it live, it'll be live. And if you miss it, don't worry because, like I said, on my YouTube, all of it gets recorded. Yeah, right now I'm not too swamped. I only have I have one black and white I have to do for Bob Dilligaff, but that one's a portrait, so I got to do some heavy light boxing to get that one down right. I finally found an image that was pretty good, but I got to light box it, make sure it looks excellento. And other than that, I'm pretty open right now, guys. I gotta go make some phone calls after this. Damn, I'm getting messages in. Always on a Friday. But yeah, so that's my thing, man. I just want to make interesting stuff, and that's the stuff I'm interested in right now. Yeah. Oh, sweet, dude. What do you want to get? Cat fight card between Emma Frost and Madeline Pryor. Now that's how's that sound, dude? That sounds excellent. I know they had some fights recently, and then there was some new. I saw some great stuff online about one of the recent. I almost feel like catching up with the X-Men, but I'm like, bro, is it worth it? There's so much stuff right now with the X-Men. 2FC sketch card. Because that was that great scene where I think Kitty Pryde phases through the wall and I think attacks White Queen. White Queen tries to attack her back, and then she pulls him back and just slams her into the wall. That's such a great scene. And I was like, that's awesome. It's funny now that people are finding Kitty Pryde a little bit more. And today is the 6th. And this is for Pisces Monkey. That's the thing, man. It's like I don't feel like I want to read it, and at the same time, I don't want to get into that many things. 'Cause I even thought, like, what if they did like a big ultimate collection or a big fat omnibus collecting like this whole thing that happened with Coca-Cola? I'm like, would I want to read that whole thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not as fun for me as it used to be. The X-Men. I think that's my only thing. It used to be a lot funner. So. I'll put that definitely on the schedule. I'll probably hit it tomorrow or whatever. I will hit you up, Pisces, if when I go online with it. Hey, what's up, Four Leaf? What's up, Run Montrose? Doing a sale on sketch cards. Got 2 for 30. If anybody's interested. When you say cat fight, I'm gonna make a real cat fight out of it, Pisces Monkey. And I was just talking about that. I'm like, I'm gonna do a real cat fight, a real hair pulling, phasing telepath thing. This is one of the robot designs I want to do. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm like drawing them first, then trying to build them, and then it's like reverse engineering back. Now that I built them, how do I draw them? And then getting the pictures. I wanted to do that with tanks also. I was gonna build the tanks, but I'm just trying to figure out the scale. And it's in my room. I just have only so much room to do stuff too, guys. My guys, I don't know. I'll check out something. So I'm pretty stuck now. Oh, good. Thanks, man. I'm glad, dude. I know sometimes I can be pretty quiet on here. Sometimes I'm just working and just getting the grind done, dude. It's hard trying to do this comic book creator artist life. This is your own character design, or are you working on a project? This is my own character design. I just got back in. I was just doing a bunch of stuff. I was in New Mexico, and I just got back in, so I have to like kind of stretch my hands and get my drawing, my particulars. Ready. This is okay. So one of the things I was talking to these guys, and I'll talk to you about it on Montrose. So I made this yesterday before I went to New Mexico and after I came back. Um, this is just marker caps, and I was been messing with these things. These are these fidget toys, and I thought they're really cool. I thought they were like I've always had some of these around because I think they're just you can do stuff with this. This is interesting. So using the joints, I was cutting them off and I was making them with the marker. So I was able to make this. It could be a leg, it could be an arm. So I'm working towards making like these robot figures using this technique and using these right here. And so what I'm trying to do is put together Hood H00D, which is one of my comics that I'm developing, is literally a post-apocalyptic robot like Mad Max meets Robin Hood thing, with a robot being Robin Hood, and it's a H00D Hood, and he's gonna be like this big robot that can like produce arrows and shoots arrows because that's like the most efficient way for it to fight against AI who has ruined and destroyed the earth. And I'm gonna have Merryman. It's gonna be a cross between the old classic Robin Hood tale and robots because that's just fun to fucking draw. And I think like a post-apocalyptic zombie. I mean, post-apocalyptic. I mean, I keep saying zombie because of zombie years. Post-apocalyptic, you know, medieval robot thing can be fun. Originally, I was gonna do this thing in the desert and all this other shit, kind of Mad Max style. But now I'm like, no, it should be in the forest. It should be like or a good mix. So that's what I'm gonna try to figure out, if that makes sense. And I was just asking too, like, do people want to see this, like me making action figures and making doing stuff? Because that's something I like to do. I might do it on here anyway because this is the easiest way for me to go live using my phone and putting stuff on YouTube and on Twitch at the same time. It's gonna be hard to sell shit while I do it. Um, but I think as far as making content, it's really fun, and I love this. This is because I mean, again, I'm working with another one. You can take these off, and I'm trying to see if I make a cross section this way, and then if like I can find a way to make this spin upwards, then I got the full articulation of an arm, of a shoulder. This doesn't spin. This only goes forward. So that's going to be one thing. This is a prototype. I mean, I could easily cut these. This has been problematic because the orange ones, when you cut these and make them into pegs. So I'll make like pegs for these. So I could think I could get some either dowel or plastic rod and make these into pegs. And then they could fit in. I could just drill holes into these. These are just markers, and I just pulled the top off like these markers. So I just pulled these off. These come right off, and then it looks like a robot arm. It looks like almost like a transformer arm. And yes, it's not lost on me. Self-published for now. I am going to be crowdfunding. I am. This will lead into Fuakata, my anthology. The anthology I just did. I do have issue 1 done. I'm going to be doing a Kickstarter, hopefully beginning of October for you guys. Explaining more stuff that I'm going to be doing on here. And all my comic book projects are going to go into that. It'll be quarterly for now. I would love it to be a monthly book, but for a schedule, second money, you know. But yeah, this will be part of it because I want to make these figures so I can use them as models for when I'm drawing. Because there's also subtle things like these little bumps and stuff. This is so great. This is, you know what I'm saying? And there's other parts I have. Like I took, as you can see, I'm always what's it called? Uh, vaping. So I took this and I'm like, working on different. I'm already like Megatron cannon, like, you know, stuff like that. I'm always working with different bits and pieces and stuff like that. I got to upgrade some of my stuff. I have some really cool tools. So the other thing, if I do this online, would you guys be interested? Would you guys watch? Is this something that like people will be into? Because it'll be hard to sell anything on here. I mean, if I made a figure for somebody, I'd have to charge something stupid like 300 to 400, $300 to $500 to make a figure because it just takes so much to do it. And I'd rather have some figures done before I even get into something like that. But if the tip jar would be cool. People could tip on there while they see it. I can also put this stuff up on YouTube. Same thing. I'm going to be doing illustrations. Like I just got this some work from Pisces Monkey. I'm going to be probably doing that tomorrow once I put everything together. That's awesome. Hey, awesome, Run Munch. That's the same thing for me. Look, I'm a huge fan of like Craftsman, Bill making stuff. If you ever get a chance, go on YouTube, look those guys up. They're part of kind of the same community too. Those guys always make really cool stuff. I like toy making. It's something I'd liked since I was a kid. Um, I was never a broke kid, but I never had like money to throw around. You know, I wasn't like I remember there was that one kid who had the fucking aircraft carrier from GI Joe on my block, and we like went over to his house to look at it. And I felt like such a douche because I was like, I went over. I didn't even like the guy, but I went over to his house just to see the damn thing because I was like, what the fuck? And when I saw that, I instantly was like, I want one too, but it's like $100 at that time. So I was just like, I can't ask my parents for that shit. So I was already like at home with cardboard making my own aircraft carrier, you know? And so that's what I did a lot of times. If I couldn't afford it, I would just start making it. I remember making my own. I had a Castle Grayskull. My dad did get me that when I was a kid. But I think the GI Joe bases, like the main one, I made it myself. But those were fun because I kind of liked doing that. I remember my mom had an old bookcase that was like 3-tier little bookcase, but it was small, and she went to throw it out and I took it out of the garbage and I brought it back in the house and I made it into pretty much a building because if you remember the GI Joe episodes with Tomax and Zaymon and then Cobra had a company, so I made each floor like so it had a lobby, it had like a computer room and then like the headquarters on the top, and I made it and I did cardboard stuff and it was garbage, it was a lot of crappy, but for a kid it was super fun. That's the stuff I always loved. So awesome, that's good, cool to hear. I'm gonna see if I schedule and put that on there. 'Cause there's times that I really want to do it. And if you ever miss it, if you don't see it, you can always go to my YouTube channel. And I have a lot of everything on here is recorded onto the channel. So now I'm just trying to figure like enemy robots. I had these funny, weird penis looking robots, but I'm like, this is too stupid. Like the AI just considered it the best design, and they look like penises. I'm gonna still use the gag. I think they're gonna come out, but they won't be like the main robots. I almost want the robots to look like knights, kind of like medieval knights or some sort, but we're using modern stuff. I always liked Hideo Kojima. He did like a Knights Templar kind of bent mask. It's the what's it called? It's the kind that's used by I think Teutonic, not Teutonic. I think it was a German Knights where it goes like that, and then like the visors like this, and then they go like this, and then like yeah, the helmet's like that. But he made it like that kind of mask, but he made it clear, like clear plastic. And I thought that was such a cool thing because you think about it, like some ballistic glass out there is as strong as metal. So you could do something like that and you have a full one. It was like a space helmet for a character. I remember one of the when they were promoting Death Stranding a lot, they put that on there. I thought it was awesome. That guy's amazing. No, that's another guy I pay a lot of attention to, Hideo Kojima. Even though I haven't played half the games, you know, but I was a huge fan of Metal Gear Solid. I like where he goes with the ideas, you know. And this post-apocalyptic world, I kind of have a lot of versions of it. There's tanks is one of them. That's another one that I want to do where I'm going to build the vehicles, um, building vehicles for this world, and like pretty much like people have subsisted using tanks, but of course it's going to be spelled TANX. And just recently, they just did a thing on Bill making stuff in a couple other places. They started working on Tonks, which is a post-apocalyptic kind of like art game, miniature wargaming using tanks that you make out of scrap and stuff like that. Some people 3D print them, some people whatever. So yeah, he did some stuff like that. So I was like, oh okay, it looks like it's time for tanks. So I have a family story about that. Like imagine like the family RV, but it's a fucking M1 Abrams tank, and the family is surviving using that to survive the apocalypse. And it's like a dad and his kids and all the stuff that comes with it. You know, them trading, them trying to survive. You kind of get a sense of what happens. You know, There's the various layers of apocalypses on this too, and it's gonna tie into other stuff. It's not one universe, but it's tied in. It's very tied into one another. That's what I'm aiming for anyway. Because if you read Zombie Years, you're gonna see a lot of elements from Zombie Years in it too. That's something I'm also working on. I just worked on the script the other day just to get it a little bit tighter for the next issue. I haven't drawn a new issue of it in 10 years, but it's back on and it's finally caught up to where I left it off online. So I'm going to be working on that. That would be funny. Oh, I could totally, now what you told me is like, imagine you had a regenerative robot, but that's like the Black Knight from Monty Python. You cut its arm off and he's like, just but a scratch, you know? And he's just like, dude, you like, but it self repairs. So it's a little bit problematic. But maybe because of that, he's a little bit of a nut job. That's a cool idea. I might do something with that. Because maybe his self repairedness messes it up. And I totally have like a video game in mind for this where Hood would um, be the hero of the game, but then you play the different merry men. And what happens is that when you go through the game as different merry men, you do your part in it. And if you do your part right, then in the end, when you finish beating the game, quote unquote, you get to play the game again as Hood, but now you have buffs or debuffs depending on what you did as a merry man. Does that make sense? I always thought that would be kind of interesting. Because like that in the end, if you're gonna be the end all be all and you're playing like a high level stakes part of the game, you feel what you did mattered, Because I think of like I don't know if you guys remember this game, but Kid Icarus from back in the day. When you got all the stuff. Thank you, sir. Um, when you got all the stuff and you're like ultimate, the second to the last level of Kid Icarus was actually the hardest. The last level is the easiest because you have all the weapons. So when you have all the weapons and you're like laser fucking Icarus, you're kicking ass left and right. That's what I kind of liked about that concept. So then the idea is to build the robots so that I have them as reference. And then it'll be cool too because I can go to the cons with them and have them on the table. People can see the robots. Maybe have them in a cool display. It'll help sell the book too. And if there's really crazy interest, you never know. Maybe I'll produce the toys. Maybe I'll do some casting and do a limited run. And the whole thing is to make it out of kit bashing, out of junk. A lot of times people want to like, oh, we'll just. I already had a friend that was like, oh, I'll scan them and we can 3D print them. But I'm like, man, I'd rather see people make their own. That would be cool as shit. Yeah, I like the kit bashing idea. So I have like my box of junk next to me. And after I came back, I couldn't do the show last night. I got home like at 10 or something like that. I was not able to do the show last night. I was like, fuck. I felt like crap. I was like, all right, let me sit down and work on something I really want to work on. And that's one of the things I did. Just to figure that out took me like an hour, dude. Because it was like, one thing is I forgot when you're working with these kind of plastics, you've got to go, see, this is not loose, but see how that's doing that? That's amazing. And I put a crap ton of glue on there. What happens is that this stuff is so smooth, you got to sand it and you kind of have to hit it with different stuff so that it can take the glue. So that's the reason why this is how it is. But I'm happy with it. I had it in my head forever to do this, and last night I finally figured it out. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna make that work. I gotta go to the comic book shop. Hopefully, I've subscribed, but I wanted to get the first issue of Transformers. Man, I already heard it's going to a second print, so that's good. That's kind of lessens my worry. I gotta call them after this. I gotta make a fucking call sheet because I gotta call Jude, call Black Sheep. That's my comic shop. Waiting for money to come in too. So So yeah, I want to make these like really big badass robots. And then there's gonna be like again, trying to get the medieval times look with the post-apocalyptic. So having somebody like in dressed like a peasant but holding an Uzi, you know. Oh man, dude, that's the thing though. Now you get, dude. I go to the dollar store. So look, check it out. I have boxes of stuff, and this is why you watch these channels too, because you see other people make stuff. A lot of these guys are diorama guys too. Like if you want to get into detail or in technique, it's the diorama guys, because the diorama guys are the ones that know. So one of the things you can go is you go to a dollar store. You go to, I think it's Dollar General. Yeah, Dollar General, I think is the one they go to. These Final Faction toys. And these are like again a buck each, you know? Not even $1.25, but and it has all these little interesting bits. Like this has a little Gatling gun, this has a missile. I don't know what this is. This is for like the character's feet. So they have their own figure line. The figures kind of suck. I have some of them. You take them apart, they don't look too good, but they're pretty cool like that. There's this like thing right here, this robot that's like a missile launcher robot kind of thing. You know, they're trying to be GI Joe. There, it's funny because they're doing a lot of cool stuff. They made a comic book too. You can buy the comic book on there. I bought a copy. It was $1. Um, and you know, but this right here, I could definitely take apart, make a jetpack, make arms out of it. These legs, you can like saw them off. You know, so this is the stuff I use. Again, this was the sensory toy. I kept this because this thing is cool. You know, you never know what you might need this plastic circle for. And see, and then this thing has like little fin thingies. Again, they're made to like attach on to different characters and stuff like that. Little weird these missile launcher things. So like something like this, you know, I can attach it to the arm, make it look a little bit cooler. This could be attached to the shoulder. You know, once you have that basic shape and you can just start messing with it, that's what I think is fun as hell. I love doing shit like that. Because then you make one thing into another. And then there's like just bits and pieces. Like I told you, I smoke. Since I vape and shit, I smoke. I have a lot of stuff. Markers, you know, I take apart markers that don't work anymore, and I just start taking apart all the different bits. You know, I can either cut this in half or I can saw it. There's a bunch of different ways of doing that. I do need a better sort of. I had a Dremel, but fucking half of the stuff was stolen. One thing I like to use is this thing. This thing is great. It is a little saw blade. It's a Japanese kind, so it cuts when you pull. Um, this is amazing. Pretty much, yeah. You're making, yeah. I've been into this for a while, man. I just haven't pulled the trigger. And then last night, I was like, I got back late, and I was like so pissed off at myself because I haven't been able to get stuff done. Nothing bad. I just have to go. You know, it's family stuff that I have to go do, and there was stuff that we had to persist. Bob, I'm definitely working on your stuff tonight, man. Again, it's just about getting the light boxing down. I didn't. I came home super late last night and super tired, and I couldn't get the light boxing done. I hate dragging my feet. You're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You said that the day before. I know, man. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'll be more on it. Probably working on it tonight. See, there's the thing. Tonight's supposed to be a birthday party for a family member, and I'm like, oh. I already told my girl, like, hey, listen, like around 8:30, I'm out. Like, I'll be here. It's here in the house, so you'll probably hear people in the background and all that stuff. I'll probably be out for a little bit, and then I'll go back to the party at 10. Yeah, my girl's also off right now. She's a school teacher also, so we're in what's called intersession. So the kids have off now. So as a substitute, I don't got any work right now. So I have to, and then they don't pay me till the end of the fucking month. So it's been ridiculous. So I was just explaining my robot fucking thing. Oh, okay. Either way, the video, like always, there's always the I know sometimes you can access the videos here and whatnot, but you can also it's on my YouTube under Fuakata. If you go under Fuakata, you find all my YouTube stuff there. Let me see something. See, so and I have other stuff behind this. This is a comic. I actually finished this and I scanned it, and I haven't done this. But yeah. Yeah, so like that, I'll send that out to you, and you have access to it and everything else. Um, but yeah, so I'm just working on these robot concepts, and this one is, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm also looking at the way I'm going to draw it. I want to do the gray ink and have that kind of, like I said, I'm a big fan of Ashley Wood, and so I like how he did Robots versus Zombies and Amazon versus Robots versus Zombies and all that other stuff. Those are the ones I really like pay attention to. I just love the painting style and everything else. So if I can say there's an influence, it's that. So then I'm just putting an orange background to kind of encase this so that I can look at it more. And then see where I'm going to put like white highlights. And then that's one concept down. That's going to help me later on when I'm actually drawing it to kind of adhere to a certain look. And it's funny because the other day I was talking to my girl and we were, when you're, I don't want to say fantasizing, but when you have those, like, what do we do? Because we just the other day, I was like, I think the lottery was $1 billion, which is insane to me. Like, I'm just like, what do you fucking do with that? Even if after taxes and getting the money up front, it's like still like half. So you're going to get like $500 million or a third, $330 million. And it's one of those like, what would you do with that money? And I'm like, yeah, there's going to be certain things you're going to see me do. But I think I'd still be here drawing comics. I would probably, I'd have a DSLR to fucking draw it and do all this other stuff. I'd probably be publishing a lot of people's works. I would be buying comics left and right. Every indie comic creator would love me because I would be buying all their comics. And I would be like publishing people's shit. I'm telling you. I would be a boon to comics if I was a billionaire because I would be nuts about it. I'd probably still be on here, and I wouldn't be selling anything. I'd be just like, "Hey guys, what's up? I'm gonna fucking draw for a bit. You want to hang out?" Woo! That almost fell, but it didn't. Uh-huh. So, like I said, I do have a special on the sketch cards. They're 2 for $30, regularly $25 each. But if you want to do something, Pisces Monkey just purchased, and we're doing a White Queen versus Kitty Pride. Oh, Madeline Pryor. Oh my god! Why did I think I even put Kitty Pryor? What a jerk! Thank you for telling me. I'm an ass. Madeline Pryor. Yeah, the Goblin Queen. The chick that Scott Summers left as soon as he found out his ex was alive. I was so funny when that all happened. They kind of didn't address it, but I was like, dude, that guy's being a dick. Yeah, I remember those. Yeah, I remember the Goblin Queen. Always fun to draw. It's about getting the right amount of sexiness on her. You have to take her to lewd and then back off a little bit. Yeah, I mean, depends on what you want to do, man. If you want to do a four carder, I mean, obviously, the more room, the better, but that's up to you. The more room I can put more detail. All right, add some grittiness to this, like it's been sitting somewhere for a while. Oh, geez, thanks, Pisces. I will do this up then. Yeah, because then, like always, four cards. Sweet, dude. Thank you very much. I will bang that sucker out now. I'm gonna make a noise. Right there, Bobo Dilligaffs. For sure, Pisces. If anything, I'll tag you. Have a good night's sleep. change this too. So taking a while to dry. This isn't the Watch the Paint Dry channel. So there you go. Nice little robot there. Yeah, I wanted to make a slew of different robots. Most likely what's going to happen. Though some will be copied. But I think I'll do like a photo shoot, Photoshop them into place, lightbox it like that. That's how I'll make the comics. And that'll look kind of cool. 12 minutes left on the live stream, guys. I'm just kind of doing a warm up right now. Then I got to go work on other stuff. Oh, there's Small Fry. Small Fry was a comic I was going to work on. But I put it aside to finish the Night Thrasher book. Let's see what else I can finish in the sketchbook. Some more manslaughter stuff. Stuff from ninjas. So Ninjas is a webcomic I'm doing right now that comes out every Monday. About a planet of a race of ninjas. And these are some of the characters. It's kind of in the tradition of One Piece. But it's very stream of conscious. It's just me drawing comics. Right now I'm being more careful about drawing this character than I regularly am. Because most of the time I just slap it down. And it's an exercise of just getting storytelling out of me, getting ideas out, angles, experimenting. It's a very experimental comic strip. You know what? As much as I want to work on this right now, I've got to go make some phone calls. Now I'm like my phone's flaring up. So I'm gonna stop right here. And I will check with you guys tonight at 9 p.m. I think I'm going to be on. Thank you guys for tuning in and hearing my craziness. And we will talk then. Later, Slater.